So I realized, and I'm just waking up, so bear with me. I had an epiphany this morning, and it made me really angry. And then my husband was like, well, you can't be this angry this early in the morning. So I thought I would come on here and do a YouTube, but I don't know if you can hear me very well because I don't have my headphones on. But I need to get this out before I even think. So this morning I woke up, and I have a uterus. I don't really consider myself any gender, but for all you people that like genders, I would say I'm non-binary, but I happen to have a uterus, and sometimes I feel more feminine, and sometimes I feel nothing. So this morning I woke up and I immediately had to rush to the washroom, and this is going to be way too much TMI for a lot of people, but you're going to have to get used to it because this is really important information. And the last couple of months, I have been taking extra estrogen because my body has not been happy and it's been super achy. And like yesterday, I woke up in so much pain. Well, then I gave myself a bunch of estrogen in the form of suppositories, in the form of pills, in the form of creams. And my body released something this morning that just made me feel so much better. And this is a subject that I had heard people talk about, but I never understood, and it's period poos. So I guess what happens in a female's body every month is they build up all of these excess tissues in preparation for their going to have a period. And then when they don't have their period, they have these things called period poos. And they're like, kind of like almost earth shattering. Kind of like if you have had a child, it's like the first poo you have after you've had a baby. And if you've had one, you're all like, oh dear God. We're supposed to be having those every month. Has anybody talked to you about this? Because I was not informed that the female body is supposed to expel. I mean, it totally makes sense, right? Like, we build all of this stuff up, and if you don't shed it in a period because you're on medication to prevent you from shedding that, you're actually supposed to release it through your body in other ways, such as having a massive poo the first couple of days when your period should be arriving. I've never had one of those. I'm 48. My entire life, my body has not been releasing the toxins that it was creating every single month. Pray for president. You know what? I'll have a period poo for President Trump. That's what I'll do. You were on the wrong channel, my friend. This is just blowing my mind a little bit. And then you start to think about that science has only been done on women in these situations since the 2000s. So, like, women, I'm going to tell you something. Okay, this one's for women or people with a uterus. Do not trust your doctor when it comes to your uterus. They don't know anything. Let me tell you, let me say that again. Do not trust your doctor when it comes to your uterus because they don't know anything. Even the doctors with a uterus. Because I have been fighting for 48 years to figure out my body and to understand why I'm in so much pain and to understand why I'm suffering so much every single month, it's because I don't have enough estrogen. And now that I'm getting HRT and I can actually say, please, can I have more estrogen? My body is happy. And it's actually only because of me chasing all of this. If I hadn't kept asking questions, if I hadn't kept saying, I'm in so much pain, it's unbearable, and I can barely sit down, and please, for the love of God, could you give me more estrogen? And do you know what I actually had to do to get more estrogen? Another uneducated American. Oh, lovely. I'm not even American, so thanks for that comment. Yeah, retract it. Go for it. I'm actually highly educated, and I'm actually here talking about women's bodies, so thank you. Which I own one, so I can actually talk about women's bodies. Yeah, I know. So if you have a female body, and if you have a uterus, do the research and trust your intuition. Trust what you have found and chase it down. Because I have found another diagnosis that explains a whole heck of a lot that's going on in my body. And now I have to chase it. And you're going to get to watch that for the next 2 years while I chase this diagnosis and while I fight with my doctor, because I've done this several times before. And I'm going to document all of it because I'm really, really, really sick of being told I don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm a highly intelligent human being that actually reads scientific research studies to get her information from PubMed. So I'm going to document it all. I'm going to put it on this channel. I'm going to put it in my community. And I'm going to show people that you can actually heal yourself, because I've done it for the past 5 years. And I'll put up some of my previous videos that I have taken down because I am a completely different person. I speak differently. I feel differently. I think differently because I now actually have access to more of my brain, because I don't know if you know this, but estrogen helps cognition. So when I had my breakdown 2 years ago and my memory completely went away, it was because I just had no estrogen in my body. And for the past 5 years, I've been begging for estrogen in all sorts of different ways. And do you know how I finally got it? Was when I said I was having pain during sex, because that harms my husband. But if I asked for estrogen because I thought my brain wasn't functioning at full capacity, that wasn't a good enough excuse. I needed to say that I was having pain during sex. And then I got more estrogen. And that's how this system has to be navigated, and that's how insane it is. You have to be highly intelligent to get what you want in the medical system, and you have to learn how to use the right words, and you have to learn how to manipulate your doctors and bring your husband to your friggin' doctor's appointments to get what you need, because we are still living in a patriarchy. And even if you have a female doctor, they are so gaslit in their own lives that they actually believe the bullshit that all of these men have been telling them for decades. And they believe that estrogen isn't the answer to all of our problems, and it actually is. And I'm sick of sitting here, sitting on this information and not sharing it with people, because I actually think it's the everyday people that need to start getting angry. And I said to my husband this morning, I'm angry about this because for 48 years I have suffered because I didn't have enough estrogen in my body. And there was a simple solution. It was giving me estrogen so I could have my brain function at full capacity. So my body would get rid of the toxins every month, and I didn't have to be inflamed this whole time. And I didn't have to be sick this whole time. Because guess when all of this started? It started when I was 16 and my estrogen went through the roof and my body started feeling different. It's 11:11. Hormones are the key to all of this. And if you are going through perimenopause or if you have a uterus at any stage of life, if you don't have enough estrogen in your body, it is not going to function properly and you are going to have health issues. If you have a uterus. And I can actually probably say for men as well, estrogen is really important. And I could probably actually tell you that it's important for your cognitive. And I bet you there are going to be a lot more autistic people coming out and saying, I found the connections, because I follow a couple of them. And they got sick of being sick. And they found the solutions. So I'm going to do the same. I'm so sick of being sick. And I have a brain that can connect things so easily. I will lay it all out. Somebody else can figure out the actual science of it. My brain doesn't do that. It doesn't do the math of it, but it actually can go, this solves this problem. And that is what I do. I'm a problem solver. I always have been, because I can connect the dots. Any dots. It doesn't matter. Come to me with a problem. It doesn't matter what the problem is, and I will solve it for you. That's what I do. I've always done that. That's what people have always come to me for, whether it was in photography or whether it was as a medium and I solved their life problems, and now as a healer. And I'm sick of keeping it inside because it's such a huge waste of my brain. So this is the beginning, and I just needed to get it out because in the mornings I get so much information. So I need to figure out how I can say this in a way that empowers people to take care of their health and be engaged in their healthcare. Because when you're engaged in your own healthcare, you're empowered, and then you know your body. You're not just wondering what's going on with your body and you let somebody else tell you. No. Don't let others tell you what's going on in your body. Listen to your body. Your body actually has all the answers, and that's all I did, was I listened to my body. I took a course a couple of years ago about your body is the medicine. And when you slow down and when you start listening to the screams that are in your body, and whether those screams are pain, whether it's emotional pain, those will lead you to where the truth is. And I just kept listening to that pain and listening to that suffering and going like, why is this even here? Like, why do I continue to do this? And you actually start to work with those things. Then you can see the path. Instead of just sitting in the pain all the time and accepting it like, this is my life, I'm going to be in pain. And that's what I did for 48 years. And now I'm done. And I don't want to do that anymore. And I want to help other people realize that you don't have to be sitting here in pain. And that when you educate yourself and learn to listen to your body, that you can actually heal yourself. What a concept. And I'm not one of these people that is going to say, get off medication and do all. No. Be smart, be intelligent, I still work with a doctor, I still have medication, I still do all those things, but I'm taking this holistic approach where I'm going to use it all. I'm going to listen to my body, and if I think something that the doctor is doing isn't working, I'm going to tell them. And then you advocate for yourself, and then you do the research on that thing, and then you come to that doctor and you say, look, here's the form for Ehlers-Danlos. I found it online. I meet all the criteria. Please send me to a specialist. And hopefully, instead of it taking 48 years for me to figure out what's going on in my body, it'll only take 2. I can help you down that path if you need. Because one of the things that I do is I can read what's in your body, where the fear and the pain is. I can't necessarily tell you what the illness is, but I can tell you where it's being held, and I can tell you when it started, and I can tell you how it's affecting your life, and where it's holding you back. But I can't heal that completely for you. I can put you on the path. I can open the portal. I can show you the way. And then you have to do the work, because that's how we heal. We have to heal consciously, with intention, in our bodies. You can't be separate from the healing. You can't just be like, oh yes, I'll take this pill and I'll just go to work and I will be better. That kind of healing doesn't work anymore. It needs to be a fully holistic way of healing. It has to be embodied. You have to be a part of the healing. If you're not a part of the healing, you're just not going to heal. Sorry. If you're not conscious in your healing, you won't heal. If you're just taking a pill just to take a pill because you think that's what's going to heal you, it's not going to work. If you're just smoking cannabis because you think it's going to heal you, and you're not doing it with intention, and you're not doing it with a purpose, it's not going to heal you. It's just going to numb you. It's the same with mushrooms. If you're taking lion's mane, if you're taking reishi, if you're taking anything, any herb, if you're not doing it intentionally, if you're not co-creating with that medicine and appreciating it and saying thank you every day, you're not going to heal in the same way. Intentional healing is the only way to heal. You can't just ask a doctor to heal you and expect miracles. It's not going to work. There's so many people that I know that are trying so many different things, and they're looking for that one miracle pill that fixes it all. You're looking for the answers in the wrong place. The healing is within you, and you have to take a conscious part of that healing. You have to understand the medicines that you're working with. You have to sit with the energy and the emotion of what you're feeling. What is this bringing up in you? What does this illness create in you? What does this sickness create in you? If it's anger, why are you angry? Like, I really understand now why spirituality wants to put this like dis-ease on it. Like, I understand what they're trying to do. But neither the spiritual community or the medical community are seeing this piece of it has to be together. You can't heal just spiritually, and you can't heal just physically. You have to do it holistically. It has to be together. Because the patient has to take a conscious part in it. And I will tell you, I have seen people check out in the work that I do, all the work that I did actually, even as a photographer, because I used to photograph. I used to do these sessions called bare bone hugs, and they were for people going through, uh, oh my God, what's the word? Palliative illness. I would photograph their families for free. It was one of the things that I did in my community. And you could see when people checked out. You could see when people weren't a conscious part of their healing and they were just this vessel that things were being done to. You can actually see the light in their eyes leave. And unfortunately, those were the ones that didn't make it. And I watched that through my photography, and then I watched that through my mediumship, because I would always get so many people that were coming and they would be sick, and they would, ask me what I would see for their future. And when you're asking somebody else, what do you see for my future? You've taken all of your power away, right? You're not conscious that you're even a part of it. You're separate from it. And that's what I've realized is when you're not a conscious part of your life, when you're just living life, going through the daily kind of grind and doing the things that you think you should be doing just because you think you should be doing it, and not because you want to be doing it or not because you think it has a purpose, that's where this dis-ease settles in, and we get blind to the fact that we're actually creating our own illnesses in our body when we're not a part of our bodies at all. It's that separation from our physical bodies that's making us ill. It wasn't until I started actually physically touching my body again and going, oh yeah, that really hurts. That really I feel that. And then when you realize that there has to be this mind, body, spirit connection, it has to be all of the things together, then you go, oh yeah, I better start participating in my own physical health. If I'm not actually participating in my own physical health and I'm just doing the motions, I'm just going to the grocery store and eating what I always eat because it's easy, and I go to work and I just do what I do because it's always easy, and I don't try to find new ways of doing things, and I just show up the same way, and you continually do the same thing the same way, and you expect different results. I think I heard that that's the definition of insanity. So we have to start doing things differently. And oh my God. Okay. You weren't you weren't on it, but you were so close. I'm live.
Say hello to everyone.
It's good that the door wasn't in the shot. I'll have to remember that. Oh. No, I know. Okay, let me get back to this, because I was in a mid-thought there. Okay, I'm going to leave that there, because I'm not going to come back to what I was talking about after. Bye for now, wildlings. Go be wild.